Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of inDepth. Today we're reviewing Nexon's Dungeon Fighter Online, also known as DFO. Now, if you've seen a picture of this game, the first thing that probably comes to your head is Street Fighter, and really, the game's name tells no lies. It is a Dungeon Fighter Online. If you're expecting a dungeon fighting game online, that's exactly what you're gonna get, with a bit more on the side. So, we're gonna select a server here. They only have one so far, which is Kane, the Fatality, as they like to call it. And we're gonna start from square one and create our character here. So, when you're creating your character, you have a selection of 5 jobs: the Gunner, the Slayer, the Fighter, the Mage, and the Priest. And each of their descriptions actually tells you their advancements and a little summary of each advancement for each job in the game, which is pretty neat. It's quite nice, point form, not too informative, but gives you a basic idea. The pros and cons are also listed in this description, which is pretty convenient, and all the classes are pretty balanced from what I've seen. Like, I'm not sure about later on if they get highly imbalanced or whatever, but they seem pretty balanced right now. And it's basically whatever your fighting style is. It's not there's no archer, mage, warrior. They're all generally the same. They just have their different fighting styles and skills, so it's all up to you. Now, we named our guy inDepth after the awesome review series. Haha, haha. Anyways, yes, and we're gonna start from scratch. The loading screen has a nice little picture. And as soon as you start, depending on what job you chose, you get this neat little backstory comic. And it's a really nice comic. It tells you a ton. So basically, for the Gunner, story, there's darkness, there's war, people dying still, and then there's this place in the desert, and then that's you, the Gunner. You're like this super duper crazy terrorist guy who likes to blow up buildings. Building blows up, and you're like, wee, and you go all crazy, and you're totally gangster and stuff like that. And you're like, oh crap, and he tries to run away. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm narrating this, because I can't really think of anything to talk about the game right now, just to give you the summary on this. And he's totally crazy, he jumps off a cliff instead, because he'd rather die by doing that, instead of being shot. Goes underwater, and he falls through to another world, the underworld, and he's going crazy, like, this is awesome, holy crap, I'm still falling, and then, yeah, basically the comic ends. Which brings you to the tutorial in this game, and there's several tutorials in this game. Pretty awesome tutorials. They're descriptive, they're kind of annoying, but you do have the option of skipping them, which is real nice, actually, so you can skip any tutorial in the game, and as soon as a new feature that you haven't tried is there, like you haven't tried out yet, it'll give you a tutorial. And if you just want to skip it, you can skip it. But if you go through the tutorial, they'll give you a reward. So it's pretty sweet how they made the learning curve in this game. So here's your basic thing: X to attack, C to jump, which you'll probably never use, and D will do the special skill that's most convenient by AI's point of view to use. So this is the first level of the game. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna comment on some things about the games. The graphics, even though 2D, are really vibrant and colorful, and they're really quite detailed and nice. The skills have pretty sweet effects, and the sound effects are fitting, along with the music, which is, I wouldn't say out of place, but I wouldn't really say fitting either, so it's kind of an in-between type of thing. There is a storyline that you can go on with by doing these things called epic quests, opposed to normal quests, and normal quests are optional and you can do stuff in general, but to progress in the game, you probably want to do quite a few epic quests, and if not, the grind will probably be a bit more irritating. Well, I wouldn't say the grind's irritating in the first place, but it'll be irritating if you don't do a few quests. And the quests reward you with decent equips, and they're quite progressive. They don't demand too much or anything. So anyways, you save this girl, the uncle's, well, her uncle's the blacksmith, he teaches you some junk, and then you go to your first dungeon in the game. And the dungeons are laid out well enough. It's a basic 2D map, and you side scroll from left, right, up, or down by completing rooms of the dungeon. After you get to the boss room and defeat the boss, well, you're pretty much beating the dungeon. Actually, once you've beaten the dungeon, you'll be ranked on your technicality, how many times you got hit, and your style. Now I'll explain technicality and style in a second, but yeah, as you see, I didn't do so well. So after you're done, you can select a card. Now, cards will give you a randomized amount of money. See, 11 gold right there, and maybe an item or equip. And if you purchase a card, like the ones on previously shown on the bottom, where it says you may purchase one card, you get an equip from the dungeon. So, but it'll cost you your own in-game money. Now to talk about technicality and style points. Style points and technicality points go towards your dungeon rank. And if you get a high dungeon rank, you get a better chance at getting a better equip or reward. Now, style points are based on whether you string together enough awesome combos, skills, and attacks and be all fancy. And technicality points are, well, just technical things, like if you attacked the guy in midair, if you countered him, if you did something pretty professionally. So, if you get enough technicality and style, you can get a really high rank. The dungeons in this game are well paced and are really well done. They keep evolving and they make sense. They tell you what level you should be. And you probably want to party with someone when doing a dungeon, because even though you can solo them alone if you have enough pots, HP pots, they can get quite lengthy and tedious, so it's always good to have a friend around to help. Also, once you're done a dungeon once, like if you finished it for the first time, it will unlock a harder mode called Experts Mode. And then if you beat that mode, you get King's Mode, or something like that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but it's a higher ranking mode. Now, the community in this game is pretty much dead, I have to say. I found it hard to find a party, and you can't really find a very active party either. Everyone's just AFK or traveling. The cash shop in this game, which means the shop you use real money to buy stuff with, is the Avatar Bazaar. So depending on your job, you can buy hat, hair, face, top, bottom, shoes, torso, waist, and skin. And each of them come in a random capsule, so if you buy a hat, you're gonna get a randomized hat. But it'll change the look of your avatar to make them look different. Which brings me to a point about this game I don't like, and have to say, isn't too great. No matter what level you are, no matter what equips you wear, you're always gonna look the same. No matter what. Even after your job advancement, you're gonna look the same. Mind you, the characters look pretty cool, but unless you use real money, you're gonna look the same the whole time. And you're gonna look the same as everyone else, because they're also the same. So it pretty much sucks. Just to be different, you gotta pay real money. Now this game plays like a real arcade game. It has all these goodies that you would see in a normal arcade game, and it's just a great arcade game. I would have no doubt that this would do pretty well on an actual gaming system. And to my surprise, you can actually use a game controller to play it. So if you just plug in a game controller on your computer and do a few setups, of course, you can actually play the game with a game controller, which I found pretty neat. Now the shops in this game have okay prices, I have to say, and the weapons and equips are well laid out level-wise. But the NPC shops are completely scattered, and it's kind of annoying because the level 11 gunner will have a different NPC way on the other side of town than the level 11 priest. Now skills are different. Skills you buy from certain NPCs instead of having a skill tree, and you buy them with SP, your skill points. Now once you get enough skill points to buy a skill, you can also level it up. But instead of leveling it up normally, through skill tree, you have to buy a level 2 skill.